ഹായ് ഓൾ എക്സലൻ്റെ ഇന്നത്തെ വീഡിയോയിൽ റെഗുലേറ്റിംഗ് ആക്ട് 1773 കുറിച്ചാണ് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. സോ ലെറ്റ്സ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് അവർ സെഷൻ. സോ ബിഫോർ മൂവിങ് ഓൺ, ലെറ്റ്സ് സീ ദ മെയിൻ ഫീച്ചർ ഓഫ് ദിസ് ആക്ട്. Their main aim was to regulate the management of East India Company's rule in India. Let's see the background of this act. That means why this act was introduced. The British East India Company was given a royal charter by Queen Elizabeth on December 31st. What is this royal charter? It is a letter of authorization. If any British company went to do business outside Britain, they need the permission of Queen Elizabeth, and it is given by this letter of authorization. By this royal charter, the British got monopoly of trade over East Indies. Then they came to India and began their trade. At that time, Portuguese, Dutch, French were also trading with India. Gradually, there began a competition between European powers that led even to a war, and finally the British won. But when they expanded their trade in India, there arose a conflict between native kings. In 1757, Battle of Plassey took place between Siraj-ud-Dowlah and British East India Company under Robert Clive. However, the British won the ultimate victory. Another war, Buxar War, took place in 1764. Victory of all this war gave British East India Company the confidence that they could win over the native kings. By all these wars, British East India Company took over the rule of Bengal. Gradually, they expanded their power to Madras and Bombay. All these wars caused a huge defense expenditure to the company. Moreover, to retain monopoly, they had to pay an amount to the crown, but with the loss of tea sales to America, the company couldn't pay it. They seek a loan of £1 million from Bank of England. Thus, the company was in a financial crisis. There was widespread corruption among officials of the company that also worsened the situation. Robert Clive established a dual administrative method in Bengal. By this act, Nawab got Nizamat the right to administration, and the company got Diwani right, the right to collect revenue. There were several flaws in the system. There was a severe famine in Bengal, and the defeat of the company against Mysore Hyder Ali in the war 1769 also paved way for this act. This act was introduced by Lord North in the British Parliament and it was passed in 1773. All these are the reasons for the introduction of this act. Now, let's see the provision. There was severe corruption by the company officials, so the Act prohibited the servants of the company from engaging in any private trade or accepting bribe from the natives. The British Parliament restricted the company's share of profits to 6% until it repaid loan, and the term of court of directors would be 4 years. This was the first step taken by the British Parliament to regulate and control the affairs of the company. By this act, the Governor of Bengal was elevated to the post of Governor General of Bengal, and Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of Bengal. The presidencies of Madras and Bombay became the subordinates of Bengal Presidency. An executive council was formed to assist the Governor General, and it had 4 members. The decisions would be taken by the majority. Thus, this act laid foundation for a centralized administration in India. By this act, a Supreme Court was established at Calcutta with a Chief Justice and other 3 judges. By this act, the Crown must be informed about all affairs of India, including civil, military, and revenue affairs. However, this act permitted the company to keep back its territorial possessions. This act has only a regulating role, and so it is called Regulating Act. Now, Let's discuss some of the drawbacks of this act. A Supreme Court was established by this act, but there was no mention about the authority of the Supreme Court. This act addressed only the administrative problems of the company. There were no provisions regarding the condition of Indians, how to enhance their lives. Even though this act had led some measures to prevent the company officials' corruption, it didn't work. This act introduced